The number 8 and the number 24. To a few fans, those numbers mean more than anything. Kobe Bryant. 3 words to describe Kobe: competitive, determined, and tenacious. Kobe Bryant is a basketball legend, and his impact on the game is completely undeniable. We are going to go through Kobe Bryant's career and the emotion that he played with that left huge marks on the fans who followed him. Kobe Bryant was a fierce and intense competitor on the court. He was known for his competitive spirit and unwavering determination to win at all costs. He approached every game with a laser-like focus and a relentless drive to be the best. His passion for the game of basketball was evident in the way that he played, and he inspired his teammates and fans with his dedication and commitment to excellence. He was a player who never gave up. Even in the face of adversity, his resilience and perseverance were qualities that always set him apart from the others. Overall, Kobe Bryant played with a powerful and inspiring emotion that left a lasting impression on the game of basketball and on the lives of those he touched. Let's talk about Kobe Bryant's career. Kobe Bryant was just 18 years old when he was drafted by the Los Angeles Lakers in 1996. Technically, he was drafted by the Charlotte Hornets and immediately traded, but for the sake of argument, he played his entire career with the Los Angeles Lakers. He came straight out of high school. His dad grew up playing basketball in Italy, and Kobe Bryant moved there at a very young age with his father, learned how to speak Italian, and really developed his basketball skills at a very young age, playing overseas. Kobe Bryant was immediately thrust into the limelight playing for the NBA's biggest organization in the Los Angeles Lakers, and very quickly playing with one of the biggest stars in the NBA and one of the most dominant forces the NBA has ever seen, Shaquille O'Neal. Bryant's partnership with Shaq, who was already an established NBA star at this time, was a key factor to the Lakers' success in the late 1990s and early 2000s. The duo quickly developed a rapport on the court, keyword on the court there, with Bryant's scoring ability and Shaq's dominance in the paint, making them nearly unstoppable as they go on to win 3 NBA championships in a row from 2000 to 2002. Now, wasn't always the best of times between Kobe and Shaq. We've heard a lot of stories of them never hanging out off the court, never being together at any point. So that led to the 2003 season. As a Kobe Bryant fan, you probably know about this 2003 season. In 2003, Kobe Bryant was arrested in Eagle, Colorado, after being accused of sexual assault by a 19-year-old hotel employee. Bryant admitted he had sex with the girl, but said it was completely consensual. Eventually, the charges were dropped after the defendant, Caitlin Faber, refused to testify in court. This season, coming off of 3 straight NBA championships, led to a huge strafe between Kobe and Shaq. Kobe and Shaq went back and forth. Shaq mainly talking about Kobe Bryant's assault charges and how him and Kobe never really hung out outside of playing basketball together. They had a very tumultuous relationship off the court, to say the least. Both players were known for their strong personalities and competitive spirits, and their egos clashed frequently. And this unfortunate situation that happened in Eagle, Colorado, did not help the circumstances. The media often portrayed their relationship as a feud, and rumors circulated that Bryant wanted to be the Lakers' primary star, while O'Neal felt threatened by Bryant's rising stardom. Shaquille O'Neal was traded in 2004 from the Los Angeles Lakers to the Miami Heat, and thus began the second stage of Kobe Bryant's career, the post-Shaq era. One of the most notable aspects of Bryant's post-Shaq career was his ability to adapt and evolve his game over time. As he aged, he became a more well-rounded player, adding elements to his game such as improved passing and post-up play. People will argue about the passing. Go watch the tapes for yourself. Kobe Bryant became an elite passer. He also became an elite leader on the court, mentoring younger players and setting an example of dedication and hard work. Bryant became the clear leader on the team after the Shaq trade and took a more prominent role on the court as well. Kobe Bryant, in his early days, was known for his scoring, and he continued that post-Shaq. He won 2 consecutive scoring titles in 2006 and 2007, and was named the MVP in 2008. He was also named to the All-NBA First Team 10 times. He was also named to the All-NBA Defensive Team 9 times. First Team, All Defense. Kobe Bryant, as I just said, learned how to develop his game, and his tenacity for defense was something that people found incredibly profound. Kobe Bryant was the type of guy who every single night would go step up and guard the other team's best player. As a Nuggets fan, I know this very well. There were many times where I would watch the Nuggets in the playoffs play against the Kobe Bryant Lakers, and every single night Kobe Bryant would step up for the challenge of guarding Carmelo Anthony, arguably the second best scorer in the NBA at the time. And every single night, those two had wars. Those two had battles. For those of you who maybe aren't Lakers fans or Nuggets fans, go watch some of those late 2000s games, playoff games, between Kobe Bryant and Carmelo Anthony. As a fan of basketball, I have never seen two guys play with more tenacity and play with more determination than those two playing against each other. And I mean that sincerely. I have yet to see anything similar to that. Those two were some dogs, and they went at each other hard and relentless. Kobe Bryant usually got the better of him. I hate to say it, but he did. Kobe Bryant's determination to be the best, to become the best, was something that shined off the screen. One of the exemplifying factors of that was the relationship that Kobe Bryant had with the Philippines and the Filipino fan base. Backtracking a little bit, Kobe Bryant's relationship with the Philippines began in 1998 when he first visited the country as a part of a Nike promotional tour. He was immediately struck by the passion and the enthusiasm of the Filipino basketball fans, and he made a point of returning to the country many times over the years. And while he was there, during his visits, he would very often participate in basketball clinics, meet and greets. He supported local charities, organizations. He did a lot for that country. One of the reasons Kobe Bryant was so beloved in the Philippines was his approachable and friendly demeanor off the court. Once again, keyword, off the court. Despite his status as a global superstar, he was known for his humility and willingness to connect with fans on a personal level. He also showed a genuine interest in Filipino culture and traditions, and he was known for loving Filipino food and his willingness to try new things, something that I don't have. Bryant's success on the court also played a major role in his popularity in the Philippines. Many Filipino basketball fans saw him as a role model and a source of inspiration, and his fierce competitiveness and work ethic resonated with many. His championship-winning performances and his numerous individual accolades were a testament to his talent and dedication, and many Filipinos saw him as an example of what could be achieved with hard work and perseverance. Kobe Bryant's relationship with the Filipino fan base was something magical. It's something that you see in sports very rarely with a player outside of their normal culture. We've seen it in sports many times. Let's use Manny Pacquiao for the Philippines, for example. Manny Pacquiao had the entire country of the Philippines behind him during every fight, and rightfully so. He was one of the greatest boxers of all time, and, of course, he was Filipino. Let's use a more current example, Shohei Ohtani in baseball currently. Shohei Ohtani has become a revolutionary star in baseball. It's been a few years since you could go out and actually talk to someone about a baseball player like you can with Shohei Ohtani. Japanese fans, no matter where they are, they will come out to a game just to root for Ohtani. If they're playing the Cubs, you got the Chicago Japanese fans will be there. If they're playing the Rockies, the Colorado Japanese fans will be there. And they will all be cheering for Shohei Ohtani. Let alone his performance in the World Baseball Classic, which could be an emotion of sports pod in its own. But it's rare for us to see a player like Kobe Bryant, born in America, lived in Italy with his father, resonate so highly with an entirely different culture. Kobe Bryant was just one of those guys. His charisma popped off the screen. You could see it every time he stepped on the court. You knew exactly what he was out there to do. He was out there to do absolutely everything that he could to get the job done and win the game. Nothing highlights that more than a couple of games in the 2006 season. Let's talk about the first one, the one that people don't talk about very much. Against the Dallas Mavericks, Kobe Bryant had an incredible 62 points through 3 quarters. Even more impressive, the Mavericks had only 61 points during those same 3 quarters. The Lakers, of course, had a very comfortable margin, and Kobe sat out the entire 4th quarter. And that led to a lot of questions. What would he have done if he would have played that game? Would he have reached 80? Quite possibly. 70, maybe a little bit more realistic. Well, turns out Kobe would have scored definitely over 80. Because later in the season, in January of 2006, Kobe Bryant scored 81 points against the Toronto Raptors, 55 of which came in the second half alone. It's the second highest point total for a single game in league history, second only to Wilt Chamberlain, of course, with his 100-point game in 1962. It's incredible to me that a player could go out there and drop 81. We've seen very high-scoring games, but to be able to look back on Kobe Bryant scoring 81 points in the 2006 season is absolutely incredible. For a long time, I became a Kobe detractor. I think when it comes to an NBA standpoint, his NBA career, just stats, numbers, his actual career itself, I think I am kind of more on the detractor side. And many detractors of Kobe Bryant's career, they took this 81-point performance, for example, and started labeling him selfish, right? This is something that we saw many times throughout his career, is people thought that he was a selfish basketball player. It very much started with Shaq as well. Like we said, the media construed it, the detractors talked about it as Kobe Bryant wanting to be the only star in Los Angeles and kicking Shaq to the curb, and the Lakers deciding to follow Kobe instead of Shaq. Whether that's true or not, we will never know. But either way, there were a lot of people who, throughout his career, had talked very poorly on Kobe Bryant. Talked about how selfish he was, talked about he only cared about success for himself. And I think that's just not true. The only thing that we need to look at to prove that wrong was the 2005-2006 season. And some people say, like, why are you looking at the season where he averaged the most points, where he didn't have anyone else on his team, and, I mean, his only other good player was Lamar Odom, basically. And the reason I say that is because there's a thing in sports that everybody inherently has, and some people just have more. And it's quite simple. It's a competitive spirit. Kobe Bryant's competitive spirit is by and away the largest competitive spirit that we have ever seen from an athlete. And I could say that with confidence. Everything that Kobe Bryant did was to become a better basketball player. And I don't think that can be argued. We look back on that 2005-2006 season. In January of that season, along with the 81-point game, he averaged 43.4 points per game. The highest scoring average for a month from any player other than Wilt Chamberlain. He became the only player since 1964 to score at least 45 points in 4 straight games. He single-handedly led the Lakers to 45 wins that season and almost upset the Phoenix Suns in the first round of the playoffs. The reason I look back on that season as a highlight to Kobe Bryant being unselfish is to talk about his true determination and what he was there to succeed with. He was there to succeed with a team. He was not going to let a team be poor that he was playing on. He was not going to let a team not make the playoffs that he was playing for. That's not the type of guy that Kobe Bryant is. We knew that every single day Kobe Bryant was going to go out there and do what it took to win. Whether he had to be selfish or not, it doesn't matter. Because Kobe Bryant always stayed true to who he was, which was a competitor. If he had to shoot the ball 40 times in a game, he was going to. Whatever it took to win, he did not care. A couple years after that, Kobe Bryant got a little bit of help. They brought in Pau Gasol, another legend in the game, as he went on to go win 2 more championships in 2009 and 2010. And he was also named the Finals MVP in both of those championship runs. One of the most notable aspects of Bryant's post-Shaq career was adding elements to his game and becoming a leader on the court. With a little bit of help in that, Kobe Bryant was able to reach that pinnacle again. We can go on and talking about how determined Kobe was and how motivated he was to always get better and always be the best. We could talk about his on-the-court leadership. We could talk about his on-the-court ability. We could talk about his off-the-court personal issues. However you want to talk about it, let's just talk about some of the emotions that he brought out of fans and the legacy that he left over time. One of the most remarkable points in Kobe Bryant's career happened in 2013. In a game against the Golden State Warriors, Kobe Bryant landed awkwardly on his left foot after making a move towards the basket and immediately fell down, clutching his left ankle in pain. The injury was later diagnosed as a torn Achilles tendon, which is a serious injury that can take many months to fully recover from. For Kobe, it was incredibly devastating because he was already battling other injuries and other age-related declines in his physical ability. Despite the severity of the injury, Kobe did not let it derail his career. He had the surgery. He worked tirelessly to get back in shape, to return the court, and he did so in just 8 months after the injury. It was a huge turning point in Kobe's career in many ways. It forced him to confront his mortality and his limitations as an athlete at an older age. And it really gave him a new perspective on the game of basketball and his place in it. He became more focused on team play, less concerned about his individual accolades. He emphasized the importance of mentoring and coaching younger players as well. And he also became more involved on the business side. In many ways, Kobe's Achilles tear was a testament to his character and his resilience, as we've discussed multiple times. Despite facing what could have been a career-ending injury, he refused to give up, and he worked tirelessly to overcome those physical and mental challenges that lie ahead. We've said it multiple times. We'll say it for his entire career. His dedication to the sport of basketball and his commitment to excellence is going to inspire basketball players and fans around the world for generations to come. That's the lasting legacy of Kobe Bryant. The Mamba mentality. We did an episode on co-op culture about it. The Mamba mentality is a never give up, never die attitude that Kobe Bryant had and that he exemplified in his everyday pursuit of becoming the best. Whether he did that or not, it's up for debate. Well, when it comes to actually becoming the best. But when it comes to his determination and his willingness to do everything that it takes to be the best, the evidence is there. On January 26th, 2020, Kobe Bryant and his daughter, Gianna, and 7 others were killed in a helicopter crash in Calabasas, California. The news of his death sent shockwaves throughout the world, and tributes poured in from fans, fellow athletes, and celebrities. Bryant's death was a tragic loss for the basketball community and for his family, who were left to mourn the loss of a beloved husband, father, and daughter. Bryant's impact left a huge mark on the game of basketball, but in a way, what he did for his daughter Gianna was even more important. Kobe Bryant went to every one of Gianna's basketball games. We've seen multiple pictures. We know how important family was in his life. His impact on the court was very influential, but his impact off the court showed us the exact same thing. That with hard work and determination, you can be the best at whatever you put your mind to, even parenting. The Mamba mentality isn't just about being an athlete, It's not about working hard to get your body in the right shape to be doing a sport at the highest level. The Mamba mentality is just putting in the time and effort, the hard work, the determination, the tenacity into every single thing you do to try and become better and better each day, to eventually become the best that you can be. The emotional impact that Kobe Bryant left on all of us is so much deeper than just watching him play basketball. It's a testament about being resilient and fighting through injuries and coming back and learning how to adapt yourself. It's a testament to being thrown into a big situation and learning how to fit in and learning your role and learning how to thrive in that as big as you can. It's about becoming the center of attention, having the spotlight on you, and what you do with that pressure. What do you do when everyone's watching? How are you going to react? How are you going to adapt? And how are you going to prove yourself to those people? The emotion that Kobe Bryant left, it's very profound. And I think we all need to start looking at it in a more everyday light. And not just in a, let's go make 20 free throws before we end this practice. Let's start looking at Kobe Bryant as he was to Gianna, an incredible father, as he was to the Filipino culture, an incredible hero, and as he was looked at by the players who played with him, the fans who loved him, the coaches, owners who knew him, such as Phil Jackson. We all need to take from Kobe Bryant what he did so well, which was day in and day out, find a way to improve yourself. Little by little, step by step, brick by brick, piece by piece, whatever you want to say. We can always find ways to improve ourselves. Kobe Bryant did it throughout his entire career. And his legacy that he left on all of us should be to continue to do the same thing. His impact on the game of basketball and the lives of those he touched will be felt for generations to come. Kobe Bryant was a fierce competitor who inspired others to work hard and pursue their dreams. He was also very kind and a generous person who dedicated his time and resources to improving the lives of others. His tragic death was a loss for the basketball community and for his family, but his legacy will continue to inspire future generations. I hope you guys took something away from this, and I hope you guys have a great day. I will bid you all adieu.